Okay. Yes, sir. Back at it again. Going 3 for 3. All right, so my name is Michael DeLu, and you are tuned in to Pull Up the Tape. I'm the host of Pull Up the Tape. And before I get into any of the politics, I just want to continuously thank everybody who's supporting me right now. It's the start. Feel me? This is episode 8 that we're on. And I just really want to thank everybody who's watched my podcast. Whether you listen to it or watch it on YouTube, I really appreciate it. And I thank you so much. The support is immense. I love it. I really appreciate it for real. Like, and whether I really do appreciate it. So before I get into the politics of today's episode, if you're listening to this podcast, I have some, I wouldn't say homework, but I have a challenge to you guys. You know, tell 3 people about this podcast. Tell 3 people about my podcast. Tell them, tell 3 people that you know who like sports, whether it's your mom, your dad, your teammate, your cousin, your brother, your coach, the water boy, the equipment manager. Tell them about my podcast. I promise you they'll love it. Or if they don't love it now, they'll love it eventually in the future when Odell Beckham is on it and I'm interviewing the biggest athletes in the world. Tell them about my podcast. It's going to help me grow immensely, and I would really appreciate if you guys can do that for me. Just tell 3 people. Tell anybody you know. Tell anybody you know that loves sports. And for those of you who are watching my podcast, do me a favor, like this video, comment below on anything that I discuss, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification. It really, really helps me a lot to get to where I'm trying to go. And honestly, it's greatly appreciated, and it means a lot. I can't go anywhere without you guys' support. And the start, the people supporting you in the beginning are what help you get, elevate yourself to the next level. So if you guys can help me by doing those several things, I would really, really appreciate it. So it seems like a lot of people are doing hard drugs lately. And the latest culprit who needs to be checked into a rehabilitation center seems to be Kenny the Jet Smith. So earlier in the week on Complex Sports, Kenny the Jet Smith said some wild stuff. What he said made me think, okay, this man might actually be under the influence of drugs. Crack, coke, I don't know. He might have smoked a couple woods to the face. I don't know. He could have been loaded off the Douce, but he seemed perfectly fine to me. So that's how I know, okay, he might not perfectly fine. Maybe he wasn't drunk, but definitely could have been off something, off some sort of drug, honestly, to be honest. So I'm going to just play the clip.
Why is LeBron James not in your top 5?
LeBron James is in my top 10.
Okay.
But he's 10, possibly.
Whoa.
Is Shaq in your top 10?
Shaq's in my top 10.
Is Kobe?
No, Kobe's not in my top 10. Kobe's like 11. Magic, Larry Bird. Larry Bird. Who did I just say?
Archibald has to be in your Oscar and Nate Archibald are in your top 10.
It's so much easier to score now that it makes it hard to judge guys' ability because it's so easy to score. Like I was a good scorer. I wasn't even a great scorer. I averaged 17 points a game at my highest, I think 18. In that year, I probably would average 26, 25. He's great, but for me, this is in my opinion, he's not in the top 5 of all time.
That's kind of wild, though. That is pretty wild, Kenny.
So that's what he said. And honestly, honestly, first of all, I had so many issues with this. Who is, I don't even, okay. First of all, how do you have LeBron at 10 in your top 10? And he had some and not only that, how do you not have Kobe in the top 10? On top of that, like his reasoning and everything he was saying just made no sense. And no, I did not watch the entire episode to see exactly what his list was because I don't entertain nonsense and foolery and ignorance. And what he looked, I can't tell if he was being serious or joking or anything like that. But first of all, you just look like a delusional ass old man. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean? First of all, I honestly don't even understand how does anybody not have Kobe at regardless of the fact that he's no longer here, RIP. RIP Kobe, he's no longer here, but regardless of that. What for? Well, who can you, even at worst case scenario, in my eyes, the only two players that are better than Kobe would be that I'm okay with people arguing are three. Bron, MJ, and Kareem. I'll listen to those arguments all day. Anything else after that, you're retarded. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. That's a very sensitive word. Let me not use the word retarded. You're misinformed, you're delusional, you're stupid, you're ignorant. I'm gonna go with that. Okay? If you have Kobe, if you're gonna tell me any other players in NBA history besides those three are better than Kobe, I can't have an intellectual conversation with you. And I'm really disappointed in Kenny because obviously you need to check yourself into rehab. How could you get on Complex and say that and then stick to that? Not only did he say that, he also said this makes no sense. He said, it's really hard to gauge how good guys are nowadays guys' skill level because it's so easy to score. And he goes on to say in his peak he scored 19. At his peak he scored 19, so he would score like 26 in today's NBA. What? Really, nigga? What? 26? You? KD averaged 26 his last healthy season in the NBA. There's no way you're averaging 26. You averaged 19 in the 90s. Come on now. Well, again, you sound like a delusional old man. You sound stupid. You sound really dumb. Like, I honestly, I personally, if somebody comes onto my podcast and says something as stupid as that, I'm gonna end the call there. There's nothing left to discuss. Let's keep it rolling. Honestly, there's nothing really left for us to discuss. Again, I didn't bother to see who he really had on his top 10, but I know he said Bird, Jordan. Obviously, he said some names. It's just like, bro, no, that's one of the worst takes I've ever heard, seen, witnessed. But anyways, one of the worst takes I've ever seen in my life. And I wish it never happened. Anyways, Kenny, lay off the drugs. Please, lay off the drugs. Yeah, I usually agree with most of the stuff you say on TNT, and I actually like you as a analyzer, as a commentator. I think you're good at what you do, but this was not it. Don't ever say this again. Just don't do that again, okay? Just, oh my God, terrible. But anyways, to my next topic, and I have some bad news. Well, not bad news, but it's a step in the wrong direction for college football. So the Ivy League, but also take this with a grain of salt because, it is the Ivy League. The Ivy League, so Harvard, Princeton, Columbia, Yale, all those schools, the commissioner or the president, I don't know if it's the president or commissioner for when it comes, no, is it the commissioner? Yes, commissioner. So the commissioner for their conference announced earlier this week that there will be no fall sports. So that means no football. So they're not playing college football. But like I did say, take this with a grain of salt because this is not the Pac-12 or it's not a Power 5 conference, but it's not really good because it's an indication that, things might be trending towards the wrong direction. And even though all the other commissioners, especially the ones in of the Power 5 conferences, they have the final say so over whether or not football is played in the fall on those campuses. This could be a domino effect. So much so that now I think it was Get Up, they were discussing what are the likely if football is canceled for the fall, can it be played in the spring? And exploring these options and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting here like, damn. Why is this happening? why is this happening? And there's honestly a really good chance. I don't know. I mean, there's still obviously it's still a little too early to say, but it's not looking good for college football. It's not looking good for the NFL either. But I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. Hope for the best. Anticipate the worst possible scenario because of just today's climate and everything that's happening, and just who knows. Honestly, it's really sad and disheartening to see that this is what's happening. But as I said before, take it with a grain of salt because it is the Ivy League. Pac-12 hasn't made a statement on their season yet. Neither has the SEC, neither has the Big Ten, neither has the Big 12, neither has the ACC. So, still waiting on those commissioners. But obviously, if the president of even though it is a small conference, I mean, his opinion is respected, and obviously, I don't know, man. It's really disheartening, but hoping for the best. It does kind of a little bit complicate things if one conference, I wouldn't say it complicates things because even if there is a season, even if there is a college football season, teams probably won't be allowed to play out of conference games. So if that conference decides to go forward, then there's all the teams in that conference will play each other. But other than that, yeah. So I honestly don't think because it was brought up that scheduling might be an issue, but I honestly don't see that happening or really being an issue because of the fact that, like I said, if they do not, if that does happen, then man. So once again, let's hope for the best when it comes to that situation, and anticipate the worst. And even who knows, maybe we might have college football in the spring, and I don't know how that's going to complicate things. But damn, honestly, this is how I feel about COVID. So let me get into my last topic today, which is a really disgusting one. It seems like I'm always discussing, not always, which I don't shy from this because I'm I don't fear talking about this. And if you don't like this, don't listen to my podcast, don't watch it, don't care. Actually, yeah, I don't care if you like what I'm saying or don't like what I'm saying. So this bum who goes by the name of Mike Perry, he's a UFC fighter. He was caught earlier this week on camera in Texas. He was in a bar fight, and he was incredibly intoxicated to the point where he got into a fight with two people, called his girlfriend a hoe, called two dudes the N-word, and he called multiple people. He said the N-word multiple times. But the crazy thing is, he was just saying it so willy-nilly and so freely.
Did you touch me? Oh, you didn't touch me?
He was trying to calm you down, bro. You were hitting my man.
He touched me.
You were hitting my
He touched me. You can all lie to him if you want to. You hit him. I'll knock your old ass out too. You do it, motherfucker, you fat piece of shit. Hey, no. Hey! He grabbed my picture. Call the police. I ain't do shit. Nah, nigga, fuck you, nigga. Y'all back the fuck up. Y'all back up. I ain't do shit, nigga. Fuck you, you ain't on my side, bitch.
His response to all this was to go on Twitter and say no comment. First of all, we don't need a comment from you. We already know your kind, know your type, and know what you're about. See, the thing about people like this is, and what people need to understand is, when people do racist stuff or say racist things or act out of place and they blame alcohol, don't believe that. See, for example, if I get drunk and slap a girl or punch my wife or my girlfriend or my sister or something like that, and I try to blame it on alcohol, that's cap. Okay? Alcohol changes your character, but not your morals. Okay? When somebody is under the influence of alcohol, that's who they really are. That's who they are. That's who they really are. But if you're like me, I'm the same person when I'm drunk versus when I'm not drunk. Okay, alcohol doesn't change who I am. It just probably magnifies my personality. For me, I'm loud now. I'm loud when I'm drunk. I'm extra now. I'm extra when I'm drunk. What happens with individuals like Mike Perry is, you know, you're low key racist when you're not drunk, but when you are drunk, oh yeah, you're letting it fly out the. Oh yeah, what? Nigger, calling your girlfriend a hoe, X1, like what? That makes no sense. But anyways, that guy's a scumbag. Don't really know how to put it in nice terms. Yeah, he's a scumbag. He probably won't get punished for it because, you know, this is not his first time in this type of situation. He's been in trouble before. He's done stupid stuff like this and never got punished. I mean, done the exact same thing before. Dana White didn't punish him. I'm not surprised. So I don't expect anything to happen in this situation as well. But the only thing that I do see happening that's will be a little different is, unfortunately, Texas. I can't remember what city this happened in, but the police department from that city is looking for him. So it's looking like he's gonna have to cough up a lot of money because, first of all, you're an idiot. You're a UFC fighter. You can't just be out in the streets fighting people. Your hands are registered weapons, you idiot. Are you dumb? Goofy? You bozo? Like, are you stupid? He's out there fighting regular civilians as if his hands aren't registered weapons. How dumb can you be? How dumb can you be? Come on now. You're a bum. And you're about to cough up a lot of bread because you're stupid. And yeah, I don't feel bad for you. You're an idiot. Yeah. And honestly, prior to this, I probably wouldn't even know who he was. Like, you know, I just want to actually, this is the bozo of the day. This man right here, Mike Perry. I didn't know who he was before this. Probably won't hear a bit about him afterwards. Because, I mean, honestly, he's not the most relevant UFC fighter in the world, you know. Speaking of UFC, can't wait for 251. I just got a notification that Kamaru Usman's father, who is serving time at a state penitentiary in the state of Texas, he's going to watch his son fight for the first time. So I think that, I don't know what Usman's relationship with his father is, but who knows? This might give him some more added motivation to, you know, go out there and like show out, whatever. Who knows? This probably could not give him any motivation at all, but I don't know. Maybe ESPN felt strongly enough to let me know about it because I got a notification. Dun-dun-dum, dun-dun-dum. But anyways, that is going to wrap up today's podcast. I had a short one today. Not too much headlines has happened, you know, in the past 24 hours since I recorded the last podcast. But I once again want to thank everyone who's supporting me right now, whether you're watching my podcast on YouTube or listening to it, downloading it off Spotify, because that's the only platform I'm on as of right now. I'm working on getting it on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud for all my other viewers around the world, whatever. Once again, I'd like to ask that for those of you who are watching or listening, share this podcast with 3 people. Not 1, not 2, not 3. Share this podcast with 3 people that you know that love sports, whether it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your teammate, your coach, equipment manager, the water boy. Share this podcast with them. Okay? They're going to love it. They're going to rock with me. Follow Pull Up the Tape on Instagram. Follow it on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to this channel, like, comment, hit the bell notification so it notifies you every time there's a full episode dropping like this one. And when there's 5 to 8 to 10 minute clips that I'm just talking, ranting about whatever topic I feel like ranting about. Obviously, it's gonna be about sports. And also when I do release my YouTube videos, like my actual videos that have, you know, whatever. So do all those things. Tap in. Follow, support, tell everybody you know about Pull Up the Tape. Shake the room, aim for the stars, shoot for the moon. All that. Yeah, bow. I think I said that wrong. Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Viral. Bow.